Today is Pink Shirt Day. We've been talking about it all morning. And in studio with us right now, this is a coup for the morning wake up. It's so cool to have the CEO of the Mental Health Foundation, because we know that he's a busy man, but he's taken time out to have a chat to us. Shaun Robinson, welcome to Life FM and welcome to the morning wake up, Shaun.
Thanks a lot. No problem. No problem.
Must be a big day and leading up to today. It must be cool seeing a lot of people wearing the pink shirts. You got your one on?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely. Look, hopefully there's a little a pink wave out there, you know. I remember driving around one Pink Shirt Day and just seeing all the kids on their way to school in pink, you know, which was very, very cool.
Yeah.
We tend to get a lot of photos sent to us during the day, so yeah, it's going to be awesome.
So the theme this year is being an everyday upstander. What does that mean and what does that look like?
Yeah, look, that means doing something as ongoing part of your life to try to address bullying wherever you might be. And there's kind of two sides to that. One is doing something when you see bullying happening, kind of in some way taking action to support the person that's being bullied and to end that bullying, because bullying is much less likely to happen then.
You've done a great job at promoting Pink Shirt Day and the messaging about standing up, speaking out. We've been talking about that this morning. But you must be quite concerning to you that new survey that's just been released. I don't know whether you saw the figures that 90% of Kiwi workers have experienced bullying in the last 12 months. So how does that sit with the Mental Health Foundation?
Well, that's obviously really bad. I mean, one of the reasons that we're involved in Pink Shirt Day didn't start with us. But we're involved because bullying actually affects the mental health and well-being of everybody involved. Obviously, the people being bullied, also bystanders, people are kind of seeing it happening, but actually also the bully. It's not good for the bully, and bullies are usually bullying, you know, because they themselves have some unhappiness in their own lives. But yeah, we have a big problem in New Zealand.
So we've got worse?
I don't think we've got worse. We're probably getting better information about what the situation actually is. Look, hopefully, I do think that we are slowly getting better. One of the cool things about Pink Shirt Day is it's just building, and it's building into that everyday thing, not just a one-day kind of celebration. So, you know, of the people that had been involved in Pink Shirt Day before last year, you know, we do some stats about how it's working. You know, 84% of the country were aware of it. 80% of them said they did do something during Pink Shirt Day to sort of try to address bullying. But the coolest thing, I reckon, is that of the people that has been involved before, 77% of them said they carried on doing something to try to address bullying. So, you know, obviously, we've got a big mountain to climb. You know, nearly 1 in 3 students at school experience bullying. You know, 7 out of 10 experience bullying. You know, teenagers experience bullying online, bullying at work. Yeah, it's, you know, 90%. That's huge. So this is why this movement is so important as well. We have to keep at it.
It's difficult too because, I mean, bullying, even the term sounds kind of, I don't want to say it sounds childish, but it takes you back to the school bully type idea. And I know we talked to a teacher earlier on the show, and we did talk about that a lot. But bullying continues on later into life and into the workplace. And, you know, it doesn't really matter what age you are, you can experience that. And I guess as you get older, it often looks very different. You know, it's sort of power tripping, it's gaslighting, it's, you know, this kind of stuff in a workplace, dominating people, manipulating people. It looks very different, but it still takes the same toll on people, maybe even more so as you become an adult, where you feel like you should have left that behind or you shouldn't have to deal with that anymore?
Yeah, look, I absolutely agree. I mean, I think the thing about bullying is it does harm to people, you know, and I think it makes them feel less as people, makes them feel powerless. You know, I think those very high figures, sometimes people are not aware that they're bullying. I reckon one of the reasons why we have such a problem in New Zealand, there are many, many reasons, but I think is actually we're not that good at communicating with one another, you know, and we're not that good at dealing with, you know, a difficult conversation where we might have a disagreement, you know. I'm a boss as well as a leader, as well as a supporter of all of this, and sometimes you've got to have a hard conversation with people, and you've got to do that in a manner-enhancing way, in a way that respects people. And as Kiwis, we're not always that good at that. We tend to kind of avoid the conflict or not know how to deal with it, and maybe then choose options that seem easy to the person who's got the power, but seem really, bullying to the person who's receiving that.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
The theme this year is becoming an everyday upstander.
Yeah.
What does that actually look like?
Yeah, well, I think, it looks like if you see bullying happening, use your words, to kind of say, hey, that's not okay. And if you feel safe to do that in the moment, it means maybe try to get the person that's being bullied out of that situation. It might mean getting someone who's got more power to help. So that might be a teacher, or it might be a manager, it might be another colleague. It might be, making sure that the person that's been bullied is supported. So is doing things, in that moment, like what might seem funny to me, might not be very funny to the person, who's there, or the person that's listening to it, and
New Zealand does have a very much a mocking kind of culture in a friendly-ish kind of way. But it's often the more you know someone, the more you sort of have license to take the mickey out of them. And it's sort of a way of almost showing love to that person. But when you are just a colleague with someone, or you don't know them on that kind of level, when you step into that realm, often you're touching on things that you don't know their history about, and it's not really appropriate to kind of have that laugh with them, because they may not find it funny like you do with your friend.
No, absolutely. I look at myself and I go of, being bullied, being an upstander, being a bystander where you just kind of see it happening and don't do anything, and being a bully. I've been all of those things at different times in my life. I have to put my hand up and say, I've been all of those things. So it's not about, there's a bunch of mean people out there, we need to identify them and kind of, control them. I think the number of people who really deliberately go out to hurt somebody is fairly small. It's still significant, but it's fairly small. But I think there's a lot of kind of going along with the pack. I think there's a lot of unconscious bullying that happens. So it's really about us all trying to do better.
Like you said, as Kiwis, it's very easy to just let stuff go, or be like, it's easier not to say something because we avoid confrontation and it's awkward.
Yeah.
But sometimes you do have to, like the theme is, be an everyday upstander.
Absolutely.
And go to the awkward place and call it out.
And then one of my staff said something fantastic the other day, because, the bigger Pink Shirt Day's got, the more we attract the bullies, actually, to, who contact us online and harass the Mental Health Foundation about what we're doing. And one of my staff the other day said we're just going to drown them out with love, and I thought, oh, so awesome,
Nice. That's nice.
So awesome. So it's about calling it out, but it's also about, drowning it out with love, still being kind.
There you go. There's a message for everybody. Drown everybody out. Drown everyone out with love and kindness. Shaun, it's been great to talk to you this morning. You're doing a fantastic job, you and your team.